When I convert this amount to naira and I see that it's over 60 million naira, I don't want to sell. I just want to hold it till the kingdom come. But then by holding on to this coin, I was also wasting time holding on to losers, cashing bull runs, cashing big runners, cashing big moves. Do not make us to play regard or pay regards to risk management. And that is why the market is able to trap us, because it has given us the belief that this coin can rise 2,000% in 3, 4, 5 days. Good morning to you all. My name is Crypto Keep. I will be talking a little about taking losses when trading. I think this is a very, very vital lesson we have to know in order not to make the same mistakes which I have done in the past. Nobody is perfect and nobody is immune to emotional or emotions when trading. Likewise, nobody is 100% disciplined, but then we learn every day, and the market has a way of teaching you the hard way if you choose not to learn. So yesterday wasn't a particularly good day, neither was it a bad day, but it was the day I chose to decide whether I want to have balls of steel or I just want to be a trader. Many times we focus on being right in the market that we lose the main focus of making profits. Our main goal of trading is to make profits. Definitely, we want to be right in order to do so. But do we want to be right 100% of the time to make profits, or do we need to be right 100% of the time to make profits? I think not. We just need our winning trades to be way more than our losing trades. In some instances, you may have a lot of losing trades, but then overall, you'll still be in profit. That is the essence of risk management. So, what was yesterday? A very bad day for me. It is not a bad day actually, because I do not feel bad about whatever happened. I just decided to move on, and I've been holding some coins for like a year now, like people will say investment coins, like long-term holding, and that is STZ. So before the last year bull run in December, the move started from around August, I think, on Bitcoin. So I spotted the move and I saw a very good trade opportunity, because every time we see a bull run on Bitcoin or Ethereum, what do our mindset tell us? Our mindset tells us that we should look for the next runner. So we look for good projects as an investor, right? We look for good projects, check their fundamentals to see that they're very okay. And once we are good and okay with their fundamentals, then we come to the charts to look at a very good buy or a very good entry price, where we set our entries to and cash the runs. And this market is very tricky in a way. It has given us a belief that the market can rally a lot in a single day. Like we've seen many rallies where the coins or the trade will go from a price line and make up to 260% in a day or in a week. We have seen moves like this. So when we see moves like this happening in a week or in a day or in a month, we see continuous growing moves like this. And if you check this up onto the okay, that is 155% in just little over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. That is a month. So such moves gives us hope that when trading, there is a likelihood of which catching an extensive runs like this, especially when the general market is bullish. So seeing such moves making over 100% moves in a day, in a month, some coins will do even 500% in a day. I just wonder, how did I miss this trade? So when you see Bitcoin making a big move, you want to get on the next major coin. You think we also rally, which is what I did. I did so last year, August, by trading STZ. I go into it. I was looking at it. I saw this support now here. It was good. Resistance has been tested. Support has been tested. The price was coming down. So I got in. I got into this trade. Because the market was bullish, I expected this move to be bullish as well. And if we happen to break this particular range, then the next target will be here. So technically, I was expecting a move from this support to at least this region here. That is another 14% move. So if I am expecting a move to rally up to 114%, where should my stop loss be? Market is bullish, right? What is the essence of stop loss? Okay, I may not have stop loss, but then I should be able to tolerate a little bit of drawdown. If normally I trade on futures and I take just 3-to-1 reward to risk ratio, then if I'm also calculating 3-to-1 here, then I should be able to bear at least 30% drawdown on this trade, right? I should be able to bear at least 30% drawdown. And 30% drawdown may not come because why? The market is bullish. I expect this support zone to hold and then break this resistance zone. Boom. But what happened? That was exactly in August 2020. The market broke down. After the market breaks down or broke down, what happened? We saw a major decline in price. Price continued dropping up until it got to minus 77%, which means by that time I was deep in loss. I was deeply underwater. So then I had a lot of balls of T. I was holding this coin T yesterday, which I decided to sell it. So what led me into selling this coin, or what led me into holding this coin? It's simple, having balls of steel. My vision was that the market would come here, not because the structure says so, but because the market was bullish and I wanted to catch the next runner. And this was a mistake I made with every other coin that I've had as an old coin or for a long time. You see the market is bullish, you see coins are pumping right and left, then you look for one that haven't pumped, then you put your money in it, believing you are buying a very good, or believing you're having a very good entry, a bargain entry. And what happened? It breaks down and it continues to go down. But you do not have the feel to sell because you know it's going to bounce because the market is bullish, right? And at the end of the day, what happened when the market, this January, February, when the market was pumping, what happened? Here happened then to be my entry price around there. Then price was here, I was 77% loss. Then the market was pumping this January, February, March. Bitcoin was rallying to 65,000. It was giving me hope that yes, now this coin is going to at least break even, if not rally to the upside and give me some profit. But there is one thing that we all need to take note of. If you enter at a price line and you can accept 30% drawdown, which is around there, right? The amount of percentage needed to break even is almost doubled the amount of drawdown you're experiencing. And will a coin give you that in a very short time? Sometimes possible, sometimes not. So let's check how many percentage this coin will have to rise from this 30% drawdown to break even on this particular trade. We have a 30% drawdown. Now we need 44% rally from this price line to break even. Not even this. same 30% that it went down with. Okay, now this happened to be my entry. Price got all the way down here, which is minus 77.53%. That is a lot of money to lose in the market. And I have around 3.3 Bitcoin on this particular trade. I was not heavily loaded, but averagely loaded on it because I wanted to cash good moves, right? So from this particular point, how long or how many percent will it require for me to break even? As you can see, 345%. That means if this coin from this particular bottom even rallies 100%, 100% is way good. No coin will do 100% without retracement. And now I'm in need of 345% move. This coin might do it in a day, in a week, in a month. It can even take a year. And now it has been a year and STC, BTC haven't done that. And the funniest part was in January, February this year, STC, BTC made from these very lows, made only 165% and then dropped down. Why? We saw STZ, USDT making an all-time highs. This coin wasn't replicating what was happening on the USDT pair. So that particular moment showed that it wasn't a good trade. And then saying you have bursts of steel is not the right thing to say, because either you like it or not, you do not want to hold on to losers. Either you are an investor or you are a day trader. Drawdowns, a little drawdown may be okay, but when it begins to get more than 10%, then it starts taking double the effort to regain those losses, just like you are saying here. And then what has this done? I could have easily sold the moment we have this engulfing candle. I could have sold and then choose to rebuy back at this low and cash a little bit of this move. It is the same amount of move from this point to this very point. I was targeting 100%, right? But then I choose to have balls of seed, to be an hodler. I head onto the coin, believing that it's going to bounce, At least we have a demand from here, right? We have this continuous bullish months or weeks. If price should come back here, it should bounce, it should take a bounce. But what happened? It didn't take any bounce. It crashed even further. So yesterday, I decided to get rid of all my old coins, even though the coin is bullish right now, based on the NFT implementation and the declaration of a bank in Europe that they want to use this blockchain technology. So it's rising, but then we are at a point of resistance or supply on the USDT pairs, and that is why we have this current bearish week. I could have sold there, but then I was still expecting it to break through because we're in a bullish market, right? We saw recently Bitcoin rising from around 29,000. We saw Bitcoin rising from 29,000, yes, 29,000, all the way to 50,000, right? So I was expecting STZ to do the same thing, rise from the bottom, and that time it was around here, just last month. So I was expecting it to rise, at least give me a break even, then I get the fuck out. But then it wasn't happening. We met supply on the USDT pair, and now we're crashing. So I just decided, why waste the time? I entered this coin in August 2020. I've tied my capital down for how long? Over a year, 376 days, 378 days. A year is 365 days, right? So just a year, and I still haven't broken even. Why I might say this coin and it stresses? Yes, it's one of the things I want to take. So if I see this coin turning bullish again, breaking the the supply on the weekly or 3 days on this particular setup here, the USDT pair, then I can choose to re-enter. But then I will save part of my capital. I will also recover part of my capital and use it to trade even more make more profit than choosing to tie myself down. Looking on the weekly, here will be at least a support zone where you may want to enter this trade. So why can't I sell here? And the moment it comes back, I choose to buy back and make more profits, which will even be faster for me to recover my losses rather than holding on to the coins that may take me over 1 year, like this has just. This took me over a year now, and it's still haven't broken even. And while we saw the what's it called, this USDT pair making runs. This was last year, right? This was last year December. This was the December low. We saw a 436% move on the USDT pair, while the BTC pair couldn't go above 170%. That is a strong divergence. I could have sold in May of this year or even in January with all this profit when the price was to around 8.4. But I didn't, because I was expecting the Bitcoin pair to follow suit, but I didn't. What happened? The price crashed back to 2.1, putting me in another time to wait for a long time before I can even get break even. I wasn't checking because I believe I should have lots of seeds and I should be able to hold for a long time. But a year is a long time to hold in loss. So we don't want to have bursts of seed and hold on to losers. It is very good to cut your losers very early. When you cut your losers very early, you lose a little amount of your capital, then you can choose to re-enter back on signs of bullishness. So you could have cut the trade in loss, and then the moment it turned bullish again, you choose to enter. Like we have this little move here, or this little move, and the moment it broke above with this candle, you can, or the moment it broke above here, you can even place a breakout trade and choose to enter on the first sign of bullishness. But holding on to losers where you do not know where it may bottom is very dangerous. The same thing happened to me on pair. All those pair BZRS, all those coins were looking very good on the weekly time frame, on the daily time frame. They were showing very good setups. So I also bought into them, and at the end of the day, what happened? There is something we can also do by DCA, which means you choose to put more money at the bottom. But what if you do not have more money? The market has given me that mentality that even some people, like this particular trade, the moment it broke above this high, some people have a breakout trade just here. Some people have a breakout trade just above this highs here. And the moment it breaks above, it fills them in. But then what happened? They see a very big drawdown from this particular point up onto here. 71% loss. Just because they see a structural break, and then they choose to hold on to it because what goes down always come up, right? But then the market has told them that it can do a 400% in a week, in a day. Now on this particular USDT pair, how long for the market to even break even? Because it seems it has broken even at this point. So how long? That is 126 days. And if we check 126 days, that should be getting close to 6 months. So are you willing to see your trade, either day trade, turn into bag holding, or investment trade turn into go into a heavy drawdown, just because you want to have bursts of seeds, just because you do not want to take the loss and at a little loss, and then you see the market rallying up? Even if you take that little up and the market continues to rally up, you can go on a lower time frame and find a perfect entry to cash the move. So holding on to losers was what I decided yesterday that I wouldn't do anymore. And I sold on my trade, on my coins in loss. I was having, I think, 5 coins. and I decided to sell all of them in loss. XTZ was the biggest one. XTZ against BTC. It came up and I sold it. I sold it yesterday, and price has even fallen a bit lower than the price at which I sell it. So it has given me another entry, which means if it turns bullish any moment, I can choose to re-enter it. Also, I have IOTS, which I entered very recently. The dates on this image are not exactly correct because I just entered them just to take the picture. I want to document the picture so I know at a particular time I was in loss of over $128,000. And I could have cut this loss earlier, but then human psychology, human mentality, when I convert this amount to Naira and I see that it's over 60 million Naira, I don't want to sell. I just want to hold it till the kingdom come. But then by holding on to this coin, I was also wasting time holding on to losers. I'm choosing to trust that this coin will come back up, but what if it doesn't? BTC was also looking weak. Bitcoin was looking weak. So if Bitcoin chooses to come back to 34,000 now, what will happen to XTZ? Will XTZ continue to rally, or will XTZ follow suit and drop them more? And the moment it drops them more, the moment I'm even going to lose even more. What is at 54% loss now, we then go back to maybe 60, 65, 70% in loss again. And then we have to wait for another 6 months before I even get a loss of 54% again. The USDT PM may do well, but then the BTC PM may not. So I just decided to move on from these holdings, as investing in coins and keep it for a long time is never my thing. I perform way better day trading, and I have great results day trading. So why shouldn't I? Looking at my record sheets, if I do not get stopped out due to stop hunting, or I realize that I am wrong on futures and I take the trade and I cut the loss, all my losses are basically all this investing in the coins, and that is because I want to cash the bull run. Bitcoin rose all the way from 14,000 to 65,000. Then I also want to cash a coin that will rise maybe from $1 to $16 to $20. Of course, coins do this. But if we have a bad entry, let us accept that we have a bad entry. I can foresee a future on this coin that it is going to go maybe probably to $14 or $11 or even $20. It can happen definitely. The structure on the month is still looking bullish. But then, should I enter this particular price line because I'm expecting it to rise to $14, or I should rather wait at a convenient low price where I think no matter what, if it gets there, it's going to bounce? So if you have a bad entry, let's accept we have a bad entry. Then let's try to cut our losses early. We can always re-enter the market once we confirmed that the market has truly reversed. People do enter market on pin bars. Now we have 2 red days and then we have a pin here. Some people would have entered on close of this candle, but what then happened? Another bearish engulfing candle. Now we're having another pin today again. I don't know if it's going to close like this or not, but if it breaks above the high, you want to go on a lower time frame to watch for structures. And once you see that structures is bullish, then you can re-enter the trade. So as for me, I'm no longer targeting 100%. If it's 1% and that 1% offers me 3R, I'm okay. So that is a loss I have to take, and I'm not in a bad position in any way. My balance is still perfectly okay, and I even have much funds to even trade and play with now. So this is one of the reasons why many traders fail in trading, because cashing bull runs, cashing big runners, cashing big moves do not make us to play regard or pay regards to risk management and money management. We want to cash a 1000% move, then we are willing to at least let the coin go in loss of 100% before then. But we are forgetting that if it gets to a 99% loss, we may require over 1000% to break even. And getting 1000% to break even means it might take us a very long time. If I am right, SRP still haven't recovered from his, from his all-time highs. And I believe there are some people who would have bought SRP at this point here. Some people even buy at this particular point here. And that was January 2018. So if some people have bought the top here, maybe they place a breakout above this bar, and this is a monthly chart, right? So they place a breakout above this bar, they are expecting a lot of percentage because in a month the coin rose with 1151%. So if they buy a breakout here, 27% is never cutting it for them. Even if I was to be the one seeing 1151%, 30% is never cutting it for me. But then what happened at the end of the day? The coin came down 95%. And for them to recover or break even, they need a 2157% move. Is SRP going to do this in a day? It's not that it cannot do. We've seen it getting done on coins. Some coins will rally 1000% in 2 days. And that is why the market is able to trap us, because it has given us the belief that this coin can rise 2000% in 3, 4, 5 days. Then we have the belief that, oh, if I'm in a loss of 50% drawdown or 70% loss, then this market can just rise 1000% in the next 1 week and I'll be break even and I even make more profits. So the market is giving us a mindset in order to trap us. And if the market is able to trap us, it will incapacitate us in order not to be able to trade, or you have little amounts to trade with, then your day trading becomes shit. If you have another 1,000 in SRP and then you have only 10,000 that you day trade with, you are making money, yes, if you can choose to wait for the next years. And people who are in this trade, they will be feeling this particular month and this particular date, which is how many days? 1,339 days. That is over how many years now? 2018, 19, 2020. That's over 3 years. And they are still waiting for break even. So why couldn't they just save themselves the heart attack, the blood pressure, by selling or stopping out of the market when they are wrong and choose to buy back at the bottom? They will make, okay, assuming they have bought this resistance turn support, and then they are able to hold on to this background at 656%. That will even recover whatever loss they have taken. So let's try to use risk management and imbibe it in either our investment or day trading, anyone that you do. We want to make sure that we play by the rules so the market cannot trap us. This is a very big indiscipline on my side, but then I also wanted to cash big moves. People are turning little amounts into millions using NFT this particular period. So that can also entice me, and then I go to buy an NFT. But then what if I couldn't sell it? So I have decided personally to do what works for me, and that is not by trying to cash bull runs, not trying to cash whilst training, but just trying to flip what I can flip on a daily basis. If I take 2 trades and I cash 3 hours on those 2 trades, I am okay. In as much I have my risk management in place and everything is as good as I want it. So don't be like me, guys. You should be better off than me. I have taken this loss and I am moving on. I am looking for more trades to take, and I am even enjoying it. I sold STZ at this price and I am getting back at this box, so in a little profit right now. Okay, that's it guys. So thank you for watching, and very soon I'll resume the educational content. Have a posting so we can all learn and know how to guard against huge losses like this. Thank you for watching.